You know, every single night we become the star of a movie that's written, directed, and produced entirely by our own minds. It's this completely immersive experience, right? A second reality that just vanishes the moment we wake up. But have you ever really stopped to wonder why our brains do this? Let's get into it.
Think about that feeling. You know the one. You're in a situation that needs you to move fast. Maybe you're being chased or you're running towards something, but your body just won't cooperate. Your legs feel like they're churning through wet cement. It's such a classic, bizarre sensation that so many of us have felt. And the cast of characters, oh, it's just as strange. You might be having this deep, meaningful conversation with a friend from your childhood who all of a sudden looks like a movie star. Or you're getting life-changing advice from a total stranger who somehow feels like the wisest person you've ever known. The normal rules of reality, they just don't apply here.
Now here's the most incredible part. Even with the bizarre physics and the impossible cast of characters, while you're in it, your brain doesn't question a single thing. It just accepts this alternate world as absolute reality. It feels true. The emotions, the fear, the joy, the confusion, all of it is 100% genuine.
So this is the central mystery we're going to dig into. Is this nightly show just random, meaningless static from a sleeping brain? Or is it actually performing some kind of vital function, something that's essential for our waking lives? Well, the science points to some pretty incredible possibilities.
Okay, first up is a theory that basically sees dreaming as the brain's super efficient overnight cleaning crew. It's called the memory filer, and it's all about sorting through the data of your day.
The scientific term for this is memory consolidation. I want you to picture your brain at the end of the day like a really messy desk. It's just cluttered with papers from every little thing that happened. What you had for lunch, a weird billboard you saw, some key points from a meeting. This theory suggests that dreams are the process of your brain sifting through all that junk.
But this isn't just about tidying up, no. As your brain sifts through the day's events, it's actively strengthening the connections for the important stuff, like something you studied for a test, while tossing out all the trivial background noise. This is literally how we learn and build long-term memories. It's why you can wake up with a much clearer head.
All right, let's move on to our next theory, which looks at this from a much more primal evolutionary angle. What if those stressful dreams, the ones where you're being chased or you're totally unprepared for a big test, what if they're actually good for you?
This is called the threat simulation theory. It basically proposes that our dreams create a kind of biological virtual reality. It's a totally safe space for our brain to run drills, to practice for high-stakes situations without any of the real-world danger. Think of it like an ancient survival mechanism, a nightly boot camp for the mind.
And this nightly rehearsal helps us hone our most primal instincts. That dream where you're confronting some monster, that's your brain practicing its fight response. And that classic dream where you're running from danger, that's sharpening your flight response. In the real world, that split-second advantage you get from all this practice could literally be the difference between freezing up and reacting.
But hey, dreams aren't just about threats and memories, are they? They are intensely emotional. And this brings us to our third major theory, which sees dreaming as a kind of overnight therapy session.
We've all been there. A stressful day or a big argument can just rattle around in our minds for hours. Well, this theory suggests that dreaming lets us reprocess those emotionally charged events, but, and this is the absolute key, it does it in a brain environment that's free from the main stress chemicals. Let's look at it like this. A stressful event might hit you with, say, 95% emotional intensity when it's happening. But by replaying it in a dream, your brain can hold on to the lesson while dialing that emotional charge way down. It effectively takes the sting out of difficult memories, which helps us wake up and actually move on.
Okay, so we've got theories about memory, survival, and emotions. But what happens when our waking consciousness actually breaks into this mysterious world? This leads us to one of the most fascinating parts of dreaming.
It's a state called lucid dreaming. It's that wild moment inside a dream where you suddenly realize, hey, wait a second, I'm dreaming. And for some people, that awareness lets them take control. They can fly, they can confront their fears, they essentially become the director of their own movie. It's this incredible overlap between our conscious and subconscious minds.
So, after all that, which theory is the right one? Well, the most likely answer is all of them. Yeah, dreaming probably isn't a single tool with one single purpose. It's a complex, multi-layered process. Our brain is incredibly efficient, so it's probably using this downtime to file memories, rehearse for danger, process emotions, and maybe even spark new creative ideas all at the same time.
So the real takeaway here is that dreaming isn't just some quirky side effect of sleep. It is not meaningless static. It's a fundamental, active, and vital process. The work our brain does in that other reality is absolutely essential for our ability to learn, to feel, and to function in this one.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've seen how our nightly trip into this other world is a rehearsal, a filing system, and a therapy session, all designed to prepare us for the day ahead. And it makes you wonder, what exactly is this complex, conscious waking life of ours preparing us for? Something to dream on.